High blood pressure is often called the silent pressure problem because it quietly damages your body for years without obvious warning signs. For many adults over 50, it slowly strains the heart, hardens the arteries, and reduces blood flow to vital organs like the brain and kidneys. The real danger is that you may feel completely normal while serious damage is already building inside your body. Over time, this can lead to stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, and sudden loss of independence. One of the most important and overlooked truths is that what you drink daily can either silently raise your blood pressure or help bring it back under better control in a natural, supportive way. I am Dr. Walker Official, and for over 25 years, I've focused on helping adults over 60 manage common aging-related health challenges, from circulation and joint issues to muscle loss and memory concerns. In this video, I will break down 3 specific drinks that research suggests may support healthier blood pressure levels when used consistently as part of a balanced lifestyle. But before we get into that, you need to understand how serious this really is. According to global health data, nearly 1.3 billion people worldwide live with high blood pressure, and almost half of them don't even know it is damaging their body. For adults over 50, the risk of complications increases sharply because arteries naturally become less flexible with age, making pressure harder to control. What makes this even more concerning is what you might lose if it is not managed properly: your mobility, your confidence in daily activities, and your independence. Something as simple as climbing stairs, walking outside alone, or even enjoying time with family can become limited over time. And here is what most people do wrong. They rely only on medication or reduced salt without addressing the deeper lifestyle factors that influence circulation every single day. High blood pressure develops when the force of blood pushing against the artery walls stays consistently too high. In simple terms, your blood vessels are under constant stress. Over time, this pressure causes the inner lining of arteries to become damaged and less flexible. When arteries stiffen, the heart has to work harder to push blood through them, creating a cycle that gradually worsens the condition. This is why hypertension is often called a progressive vascular disease, not just a temporary reading on a machine. Inside the body, several key systems are involved. The kidneys play a major role by regulating fluid balance and sodium levels. When kidney function becomes less efficient with age, even slightly, it can contribute to higher blood pressure. At the same time, the endothelium, the thin layer lining your blood vessels, starts to lose its ability to produce enough nitric oxide, a molecule that helps vessels relax and widen. Reduced nitric oxide means tighter, more resistant arteries, which directly increases pressure. Clinical studies consistently show how common this becomes with age. Research from major cardiovascular journals indicates that nearly 70% of adults over 60 have elevated blood pressure levels at some point. Another long-term population study found that systolic blood pressure tends to rise steadily after midlife, even in people who maintain a relatively healthy weight. Geriatric specialists also note that arterial stiffness increases by approximately 10% to 15% per decade after age 50, depending on lifestyle and metabolic health. One important reason this problem accelerates after 60 is that the body's natural repair systems slow down. Inflammation becomes more common, oxidative stress increases, and blood vessel elasticity decreases. Even when people follow standard advice like reducing salt or taking prescribed medication, these deeper biological changes continue underneath. That is why many individuals still struggle with fluctuating readings despite doing everything right. Another overlooked factor is hydration quality and nutrient intake. What you drink daily can influence blood viscosity, vessel relaxation, and kidney function. Yet most people focus only on what they eat, not realizing that beverages can either support or strain the cardiovascular system over time. Many adults over 50 try to manage high blood pressure using advice they've heard for years, but a lot of these habits only address surface-level symptoms rather than the deeper biological causes. One of the most common mistakes is focusing only on reducing salt. While lowering sodium intake can help, it does not directly repair stiffened arteries or improve endothelial function. Inside the body, blood vessels may still remain narrowed and less responsive, meaning pressure can stay high even when diet looks correct on paper. Another frequent misconception is relying only on medication without supporting lifestyle or vascular health. Blood pressure drugs are important and often life-saving, but they typically work by either relaxing blood vessels or reducing fluid volume. They do not fully reverse arterial stiffness or improve long-term circulation quality on their own. Over time, some people find that dosages need adjustment because the underlying vascular condition continues to progress. A third mistake is ignoring hydration and drink choices. Many seniors unknowingly consume beverages that can worsen blood pressure, such as excessive caffeine, sugary drinks, or low-nutrient processed beverages. These can contribute to dehydration, insulin spikes, and increased vascular stress, all of which indirectly elevate pressure inside the arteries. The key issue across all these habits is that they treat blood pressure as a number to control, rather than a system in the body that needs support and repair. The real driver is not just sodium or stress, it is the condition of your blood vessels, kidney efficiency, and circulation chemistry. However, medical research in nutrition and cardiovascular health increasingly suggests something important. Age-related blood pressure changes are not purely fixed. While aging cannot be stopped, vascular function can be supported and improved through consistent lifestyle and dietary strategies. In other words, the decline is not always one way. The body still responds to the right inputs, especially when they target circulation, inflammation, and nitric oxide production. This is where simple daily drinks become surprisingly powerful, not as cures, but as supportive tools that may help the body work more efficiently from the inside out. Let's now move into the ranked list of drinks that may support healthier blood pressure levels. These are not magic solutions, but they are studied in nutrition and cardiovascular research for their potential effects on circulation, vascular relaxation, and fluid balance. The idea is simple. Small daily choices can gently influence how your cardiovascular system behaves over time. Starting at number 10, regular plain water is often underestimated. Proper hydration helps maintain optimal blood volume and supports kidney filtration. Even mild dehydration can temporarily raise blood pressure because the blood becomes more concentrated. Studies suggest that consistent hydration may improve cardiovascular efficiency by a small but meaningful margin, especially in older adults. However, its limitation is clear. It does not directly relax arteries or influence nitric oxide levels. Verdict: essential but basic support only. At number 9, green tea offers mild cardiovascular benefits due to antioxidants called catechins. These compounds may support improved vessel function and reduce oxidative stress. Some observational studies suggest small improvements in systolic pressure over time, around 2 to 4 millimeters in certain populations. However, caffeine content can be a downside for sensitive individuals. Verdict: helpful but mild and inconsistent. Number 8 is hibiscus tea, which has gained attention in clinical nutrition studies. It may help relax blood vessels through natural ACE inhibitor-like effects. Some research shows reductions in systolic blood pressure in the range of 5 to 7 mmHg. The limitation is that effects depend heavily on consistent daily intake. Verdict: stronger herbal option with real evidence support. At number 7, beetroot juice stands out due to its high nitrate content, which the body converts into nitric oxide. This helps widen blood vessels and improve circulation. Some studies report noticeable short-term reductions in blood pressure within hours of intake. However, results vary, and the taste can be strong for many people. Verdict: powerful, but not always sustainable. Daily for everyone. Number 6 is low-fat milk or fortified plant milk, which provides calcium and potassium. These minerals support vascular contraction and relaxation balance. Population studies suggest modest long-term blood pressure benefits, especially when replacing sugary drinks. The limitation is that benefits are indirect rather than immediate. Verdict: supportive but not fast-acting. At number 5, pomegranate juice shows strong antioxidant activity that may improve endothelial function. Research has shown potential reductions in systolic pressure in some individuals with regular intake. However, it is also naturally high in sugar, which limits overuse. Verdict: beneficial but must be moderated. Number 4 is coconut water, rich in potassium and magnesium, both essential for electrolyte balance and vascular function. Some small studies suggest it may help reduce mild hypertension when used consistently. The downside is that it is not widely accessible fresh in all regions and can vary in quality. Verdict: natural electrolyte support with moderate effects. Now we reach the most important part: the top 3 drinks that may have the strongest supportive effects on blood pressure regulation when used consistently as part of a healthy lifestyle. These are not replacements for medical treatment, but they are the ones most supported by nutrition science for their direct influence on vascular function, circulation, and fluid balance. At number 3 is tomato juice. It is rich in lycopene, potassium, and antioxidants that may help reduce oxidative stress in blood vessels. Some clinical nutrition studies suggest that regular intake can support modest reductions in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure over time. The mechanism is linked to improved endothelial function and reduced arterial stiffness. However, one limitation is that store-bought versions often contain added sodium, which can reduce its benefits if not carefully chosen. Verdict: highly supportive if low sodium and taken consistently. At number 2 is low-sodium vegetable juice blends, especially those containing celery, spinach, and cucumber. These vegetables provide potassium, magnesium, and natural plant compounds that support fluid balance and vascular relaxation. Research in dietary cardiology suggests that increasing potassium-rich vegetable intake can help counterbalance sodium's effects in the body, leading to improved blood pressure stability. The downside is that taste and consistency can be a challenge, and not all commercial blends maintain low sodium levels. Verdict: very effective supportive drink when properly prepared or selected. Now at number 1, the most important drink in this entire list is beetroot juice, specifically in a controlled, consistent form. The reason it stands above the others is its direct effect on nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is one of the body's most important molecules for vascular health. It signals blood vessels to relax, widen, and improve blood flow. After age 50, nitric oxide levels naturally decline, which contributes significantly to rising blood pressure. Studies in cardiovascular nutrition have shown that regular beetroot juice consumption may produce noticeable short-term reductions in systolic blood pressure in some individuals, sometimes within hours, with more stable improvements seen over weeks of consistent use. The key is not occasional use, but structured intake. A practical approach often discussed in nutrition research is about 200-250 ml, around 1 cup, per day, preferably fresh or minimally processed, taken in the morning or early afternoon. It can be combined with meals to reduce stomach sensitivity. One harmless side effect is that urine or stool may temporarily appear reddish, which is normal due to natural pigments. A realistic caution is that individuals already on blood pressure medication should monitor readings closely because combined effects may occasionally lower pressure more than expected. What makes beetroot juice stand out is not just one nutrient, but the complete pathway it supports: blood vessel relaxation, improved circulation efficiency, and reduced vascular resistance. That combination is why it consistently ranks at the top in nutritional studies focused on blood pressure support. Even when people try to improve blood pressure naturally, a few repeated mistakes can quietly slow down or completely block progress. One of the biggest mistakes is inconsistency, trying a healthy drink for a few days and then stopping. Blood pressure regulation is not an overnight change. It responds to steady daily habits, not short-term experiments. Another mistake is ignoring hidden sodium in processed foods and beverages. Many seniors focus only on salt added at home, while packaged juices, snacks, and sauces often contain much higher sodium levels that continue to strain blood vessels from within. This keeps arterial pressure elevated even when other improvements are made. A third mistake is relying on one single super drink, while neglecting overall lifestyle factors like movement, sleep quality, and stress control. Blood pressure is not controlled by one factor alone. It is a system involving the heart, kidneys, and blood vessels working together. If one area is ignored, results often remain limited. It is important to reframe what is happening in the body. Rising blood pressure with age is not simply getting old, but often a combination of reduced nitric oxide, stiffer arteries, and slower kidney regulation. These are biological shifts, not permanent damage in every case. That means they can often be supported through consistent nutrition and lifestyle changes. For the next 30 days, the goal is simple and realistic. Choose 1 or 2 supportive drinks from this list, use them consistently, and observe how your body responds along with your doctor's guidance. The focus should always remain on safety, stability, and maintaining independence in daily life, because that is what truly matters as we age.